listeners.
Go
It's
on.
Booty Butts and Booger Bots, which I think is a pretty good title. It's got alliteration.
We try and make it relevant to the episode.
Okay, well, there's two ways to do that. You could take what we talk about and then choose a title based on that.
we
Or
do.
now that I've given us a title, you can discuss Booty Butts and Booger Bots in the show, and then it would be fit perfectly.
So don't defend this. You know how ludicrous this is.
Yeah.
course
I
it's
have
ludicrous.
used, to be fair, I have used some of your weird titles occasionally.
That's right. And they're the
Very
best. They're the ones
occasional.
people are always like, hey, Duke, I love the title. I get like 100 emails when that happens.
Yes.
I don't
you
brag
don't.
about it because I'm making it up, but also I'm a modest person.
Yeah, of course you are. So modest.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
think
we're on YouTube now.
We are streaming.
Here we are.
so when you're
All
ready.
right, we ready?
Of course we're ready.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Yeah, baby, we're gonna get started.
Welcome to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, how the fellas will tell
I
you.
guess you're right. Who cares?
That you playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick.
Japan.
Juke story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Juke with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. Yeah, boy.
My contract is very specific. I do not have to answer
Switch
that question.
console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Hello and welcome to episode 776 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 776. What up, people? I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
And I'm Chinny.
And we are not military veterans, people. We're veterans of the gaming lifestyle. Welcome to Booty Butts and Booger Bots.
And we're live,
Yeah.
and only Darren Sim has said hello.
Only
So
Darren Sim.
evening,
Hello, Darren Sim. We're
Evening,
glad you're
Darren.
here.
He's
By
from,
the
Aw,
way-
thank you,
from
Darren.
round
He bought
your
my
way.
book. Aw.
He's
That's so
from,
sweet.
He's from round your way, isn't he, Stu, Darren?
I think he is. I'm not sure
Somewhere
where,
around
but I
your
think he
way.
is.
Buy
Is he up
my
north?
book.
No, hold on. If you just look outside your window now.
No, he's in Scotland.
He's
He
right
said
there.
No, wait a minute.
Oh,
Scotland.
Yeah, he's in Scotland.
Oh, I've not-
Well, it is up north,
Look at the next
further
comment.
up north.
Hello.
Further
Yeah,
up north.
that's
I thought
real.
he
That's
was-
the
I
real
thought-
north.
Why did I think he was by you?
No, you're thinking of Darren. What's his face? Not Darren Sim. There's another Darren, isn't there? Who we did used to meet on meetups, and he used to be
Yeah, that's
very
what I'm thinking
drunk.
of. Yeah.
A
Darren
lot.
Klein.
No,
No.
I can't
Sorry,
think what
Darren
his
Sim. I got him
surname
mixed
is
up, I
now.
got him mixed up.
You got it mixed up with another Darren. By the way, Duke, can we just say, keep saying that title isn't going to make it happen, you know?
Well, it'll make the listeners go, why does he keep saying that? And then it'll be awesome.
You can't make fetch happen.
What about Darren Fizz? He's a YouTube star.
No, it's not Darren Fizz.
Darren
It's
Bennett.
Darren Fizz. No,
Is he
Darren
dancing?
Bennett. Is it Darren
I
Bennett?
love this. I go looking on the internet for famous Darrens. It's all
It must be
YouTube
Darren
star,
Bennett.
TikTok actor.
Totally.
Like, motherfucker, y'all ain't famous. Quit trying to pretend like you're famous.
Totally Darren Bennett.
Aronofsky is famous. Okay, that's
Yeah.
a famous Darren.
Yeah.
Darren
about-
Sammy,
what about-
cricketer. I never heard of him.
What about Darren Jones? That was my mate when we were growing up.
I hate this conversation.
We used to call him Daz. Daz Jones, my mate, Daz,
All right,
best mate.
let's have a
Daz.
different conversation. Let's talk about Tyson versus Paul.
Oh, what the? Do you know? Weirdly though, this is
This
true.
conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
This
I
is
was
true,
kidding.
right?
Don't
I
talk
get
about it.
up. I get up for work at 5:30 in the morning. I woke up.
Yeah, you do.
about
As you
quarter-
often tell us when we're
Well,
recording the show. It's
I
like,
woke
I
up
gotta go. I
about-
gotta go.
I woke up about 5:15, and I was like, I wonder if it's still on. So I actually put Netflix on and I actually watched the last 3 rounds. It was still
On
because
purpose.
it came out. Yeah, because it came out late. I was
You're
just
the
like,
you're the problem, Stu. You're the one telling
know how
Netflix
many-
this is something we like to see.
do you know how many people watched it on Netflix?
A lot. Too many.
Do you know? Do you know the number?
All the kids in Springfield are SOBs.
250 million people streamed.
And
it.
how many should have watched it? 3.
250 million.
2 friends of Mike Tyson and Ron Paul's mother.
But everyone, this is a reason, right? This is what I believe is the reason everybody was watching it in the hope that Tyson would knock him out because Jake Paul is
Well,
a
yeah.
twat.
We
And I
would
think
love to
everyone
see
just
that.
wanted him to do some one massive punch and just floor him.
Yes. I'm sorry I brought it up. The big news of the week is that Chinny did an awesome job with the stream for his friend Andy.
It
It
is.
was a great event.
It is. We're a little bit
Kudos
sad,
on all
but
that work, Chinny.
Yeah,
It's very
really
sad, but you know what? It's
worthwhile
turning tragedy
cause.
into positivity and giving support to
yeah.
the family from
Yeah, I
around
mean,
the world.
he some people might not know, but he passed away the
Yeah.
same day, basically.
Yeah.
It was the 16th that we did the event, which is yesterday, as I'm saying it, and he passed away midnight. So technically, like the morning of the same day that we did the fundraiser. We all knew that he was going. The whole point of it being streamed live was for him to watch it. His sister messaged me saying that on like about an hour after it happened, saying like Andy's passed. And I said, "Oh, do you still want to do the event?" And she was like, "Absolutely, we still have to. So we can't cancel it. There's too many people come into it now. So
Yeah, sure.
like it's become its own thing. So yeah, the event went really well. I'm absolutely shattered. Like it was a 7-hour stream. So me and Tom from work, we set up some cameras and we sort of do this for a living. So it's like pretty usual stuff for us. But yeah, the difference is that like it's something that personally affects me, and I'm hosting it all day.
Right. Right.
Which is the
and as a
difference.
host, you can't be down in the dumps. You got to be on as the
Yeah.
host.
So
That's tough.
His sister came up to me and the reason why we were so late was because we were waiting for his sister to come because we sort of wanted her to sort of hit the first ball to kick it off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she was running late for whatever reason. I couldn't
Yeah.
really give a stick, could I?
No.
What the fuck is your problem?
so, yeah,
what
we-
time
I'm
did
sure
I tell
she
you?
had
Come on.
lots of stuff to
She had
do.
lots of
I'm
stuff
sure
to do.
she's
So
very
she
busy.
arrived and she came up to me and she said, "Mike, I am so on the stream. What you don't see, the snooker room is pretty full, and then it you know like people go out and come in, but the bar, which is this quite long, as you're looking out from the snooker room, it's like this long bar, and it was full,
Yeah.
right, like just absolutely.
We're
full.
talking 100 people?
Yeah, easily more than that. And they're like, and I said like, because we had a speaker outside, and that
Yeah.
was going out, and people said, look, people at the back can't hear. I was like, are they with us?
Wow.
I didn't even know they were with us. And then I went down there, and it was all his close mates down there and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah.
Did you have people like passing by who were like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on in
There's
here"?
there's a few of the regulars in, but like to be honest, it was mostly people there for Andy. So yeah. Anyway, so we were late, and Andy's sister came up to me and said, "I've got some words. I've written some things down, and Mike, I'm so grateful for everything you've done. But can you just do me one more thing and read this out because I cannot read it out?" And I said,
"Sure,
that's okay. I will do that for you." And I read it out. And I read it out a couple times through the streams because some people wasn't there when we started it, and it turned out to be a great day. Everybody sort of gathered round, and we had a lot of laughs. It's hard to sort of wrangle people that are drinking and trying to have a good time and trying to like drown their sorrows. So yeah, it's a tough. It was a tough day. I was absolutely exhausted by the end of it, but the total amount that we raised, so we raised on Just Giving was like 2,500 quid or something, but total, including in the club, because we had a raffle, we had
poker going on.
We had a poker going on. We had like.
Or was it darts as well?
No, just poker.
Okay.
Yeah, we raised. I think it was about £3,800.
That's really good.
That's great, man.
Yeah,
Kudos
it's just
for all the work.
It's I think, and we said just before the show, like, you know, is it sad that he died on the same day? I was like, well, where would we have all been? We would have been just, you know, our own homes, not together, and like at least everybody in this room knows him and loves him. So
yeah, community is important, and like I don't know him, but I imagine he would want y'all to get together. And
absolutely.
you know, I want when I pass away, I want my friends to get together and have a party celebrating how awesome it was to know me.
Yeah,
so,
I got a text from quite a lot of people today saying, "Oh, he would have loved that. He would have loved that," and people saying like, "You've done him well. You've done him proud." And I got this like, I had this old guy come up to me as I was doing it yesterday, named Larry, and he was like, "I just want to let you know, you are doing a great job." And he would have loved this. He would have, and he was tearing up and stuff. So it meant a lot to a lot of people.
That is awesome.
And and I tried to get other people to do it because I only played like one frame,
Yeah.
And I said, like, you have a go. You have a go. Like, and only one person did it, and he hated it. He says, "Can I give you this back? I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
So no one really could have done it, and people were
Yeah.
saying like, "You were great for that." So yeah, I'm proud. I'm
It's
proud
almost
of
like
it.
you have a lot of experience talking into a mic.
Yeah, who'd have
I
known?
suppose so, but I'm proud. I'm proud that I did it. I'm proud. I'm happy that it went well. I'm happy that
Yeah.
we raised a lot of money because you are putting yourself out there a lot, aren't you? You know, when you do a fundraiser, when you do something like this, you are leaving yourself a little bit out to
Yeah.
dry. So if it does go badly,
Right.
you're like, well, you know. And I always said, like, look, if it's a couple $100, then it's a couple $100. But we
Yeah.
raised a couple $100 like in the first like day, so
Mm,
so it was already
yeah,
going to
yeah.
go well. And even if it was
Sure.
just the couple snooker teams that we play with, that's still about 10 people. As it turns out, there were people turning up that I've never met. And all this sort of stuff that knew Andy from back in the day playing snooker, and
Yeah.
people's wives were playing snooker. The girls behind the bar that knew Andy really well was playing snooker. So yeah, it was a good fun day for something so tragic, and
Yeah.
I was upset about. I was upset the day before he died actually, but actually since he's died, I've not been too bad because he was in a lot of pain. He's been in a lot of pain for a lot of months. I remember taking him to
Yeah.
A&E in March, and he wasn't well, and we didn't know
Yeah.
what it was. And so it's been a long time that he's been in a lot of pain. So
Yeah.
in some ways, like that's done now. That's over,
Yeah.
and I know he sort of wanted it to be sort of over in a way. So I think he would have just enjoyed the fact that we all got together and had a laugh, and he loved snooker, and he
Yeah.
loved the guys, and his family were there and stuff. So yeah,
Sure.
you can check it out. I am going to do a highlights. It is a 7-hour and 17-minute live stream on my Chin Chinny channel, so it is a long video, and a lot of it is just a holding screen because we have to like go on breaks quite a lot of the time because people are like
sure.
in and out and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to work on a highlights reel for it. So if you want to check that out, I will
Yeah.
do that at some point in the week.
Cool.
I'll try and do it nice and recent. So.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I must
Yeah.
admit, I'm a big believer in celebrating someone's life rather
Yeah.
than mourning the death. And I think what you did was really apt for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really an apt way of almost giving him a bit of a send off, I suppose, wasn't
Well,
it?
I,
By...
he
I'm
just,
assuming I'm assuming he was a snooker player, was
yeah,
he?
yeah, he was a good snooker
Yeah,
player
yeah.
as well. He
So
was a good
yeah,
snooker
so
player.
I imagine he would have really appreciated what you did. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I hope so. And yeah, he's a sort of he's a lovely guy. He was a lovely guy, Andy, and he always remembered everything. Do you know what I mean? So like, if I said to him, "Oh, I'm off to, I've got to work in you know, like Wigan next Tuesday," and he'd remember. Like the next week, he'd be like, "I was Wigan." He'd remember everything that you do and everything you say, and he always had time to listen to you. He was a really good listener, I thought, and everybody knew him in the club, and he had this like huge laugh that you could hear in the snooker room when he was in the bar, and I'm gonna miss that. I am gonna miss it. You know, he wasn't somebody who sort of took a lot of pride. He didn't look after himself, and I feel like he sort of gave up at the end. And I really wish I sort of knew him earlier, so I could sort of encourage him to look after himself a bit more. But it's the way it is. And I said on the stream, there's a lot of people in this room that know this was in my opening speech. There's a lot of people that in this room that know him, that have known him longer than I have, and I'm devastated. So I can't imagine how they all feel. So.
Sure.
Yeah, you know, it was a positive day for something terrible, and I know a lot of people who listened to the show supported me as well. It was really hard for me to sort of concentrate on everything. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like the chat going on, the stream going down. Somebody pulled the plug out, which powered the whole thing at one point. Who's on next? Chinny, who's on next? What's the format? When are you on? What's the number? We're doing a raffle. Where's the poker game?
Right.
Like, so it was really, I couldn't concentrate on the chat very much. So everybody that came, who listened to the show and then came to check it out, I did see some of the names and I did read some out. It was very difficult, but I want to thank everybody for coming out. I think we got about 40, 30 viewers here and there, and then it sort of dwindled to 20 now and again. It sort of dipped between like 10 and 40. So it was a good show. It was, and we've got like 1,000 views now on the stream after the fact. So yeah, it's been good.
Good. No, that's really, really good.
It's only it's, sim-
Yeah,
it's similar
nice work.
to
Good
it's,
time.
it's similar to Extra Life, isn't it? You know, it's something that we do as a
Mm.
hobby, and we've turned it into something
Yeah.
positive. So it's
And
yeah.
it's the type of thing we just watched. So there's this very important book called Bowling Alone, which was written by a sociologist in the U.S. about the decline of social capital and people belonging to organizations. And they talk a lot about community and the fact that being part of groups, whether it's bowling leagues or PTAs or, you know, community activism groups or whatever, provides for support in hard times and sharing of celebrations and good times. And I think that's one of the things that I love most about this community, the Veteran Gamers group, but also your snooker group, the people I play Go with, the board game, and you know, just other groups of people that I know. I feel very fortunate to be involved in groups like that, and I wish everybody had groups like that to be a part of. So
Yeah, because it ends up being like a support network almost, doesn't
yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
No, totally.
There you are. It went well.
So-
So thank you very much.
Kudos for your work, and now
Yeah,
take some
well
time
done.
off.
Now take
Yeah.
some time off.
No time off.
That's right.
There's no time off.
Why? What's next? I don't mean from your job. I just
No,
mean,
I
like,
mean,
don't
just-
volunteer for any organization.
Oh no, but it's
any
like
events.
when you've got a baby, there's just no time off.
Well, yeah.
Baby doesn't
Baby.
care. The baby was there.
The
by the
baby.
way. The baby did make
Yeah,
it.
yes.
She made
Baby
an
said
was
appearance.
hello,
playing
Rosa.
snooker.
Yeah,
Oh, little baby.
I held her for one little segment. So yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna get onto something slightly more, you know, less
Realisation.
down. I don't really know how to put this really, but less sort of.
So here's something from my week. Is
More
a
uplifting.
great way for you to go ahead. Go
Right,
ahead.
yeah, here's something from my week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was invited onto the Continuum podcast.
Oh yeah.
Oh snap!
My favorite time. It's story time.
Story time.
So yeah, so
That's
I was invited on, and on I went. So yeah, it was really good fun.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird. It's a bit weird because he said, "Have you been on many other podcasts?" And really, I haven't. I mean, Chinny's the podcast slag, isn't it? I mean, he goes,
Yeah.
you know, a drop of a hat. Someone says, "Hey, do you want to come on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm there," and he's literally there.
Well,
but-
is it fair to say you would do that if you were invited into the same places?
I don't know.
No, I would
Uh,
be more refined and discriminating. I don't
I
know.
feel
if I can
like-
make it to that.
And he asked me, and I said, I think I've only ever really been on the Overseas Connection as a guest. I don't remember being on any other podcast. I may have been at some point, but I don't really remember it. I don't know. So it was a little bit odd. And I said to him, you know, it's as weird for me as it is for you, because it's always weird, isn't it, when you go on someone else's podcast? But
Yeah.
it was a perfect podcast for me, because it was
Yeah. Why's
just
that?
a whole show of story time. You know, it was
Oh
just,
yeah.
it was just continuous story time.
You like
It
to
was
tell
just-
stories? I've never
Indeed,
heard you
indeed.
tell
That's
stories.
that's what most podcasts are now. They don't really have a
Yeah.
theme. They just talk.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
talk.
that's what most modern podcasts are.
Well, the good
I-
podcasts, I think, they're organized, and I mean, story time's great. I like a podcast that has a direction that it's aiming toward. So I don't know. Anyway,
No, there was no. They literally just start on a topic, and then
but that's
it's
fine
just
too.
wherever that goes. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And then they
we
pick up the next
kind of-
one. The
Yeah,
last one next time.
whatever is towards the end. Yeah, so whatever
Yeah.
was towards the end of the podcast, which ended up being video games, weirdly enough.
Oh, there
Makes
you
it a
are.
continuum.
so-
It works.
So it ends up being video games. But I don't know whether I spoke a bit too much. So
What?
I-
You?
well,
No.
I know.
I haven't heard the episode. But,
No, it's not out yet. It's not out
but,
as
but
it goes.
I can
But the
definitely
answer is yes.
answer that.
I
it
probably
is
was yes.
Yes.
I did apologize. I did apologize at the end, but it's hard, isn't it? Because they're not as used to me as I am, you know, and I'm not used to them, and it's kind of that weird, like, ooh, when I don't know when to speak. You know what I mean? I mean, as it happened, as we got into the show,
You
it
gotta
obviously
find that
became-
rhythm together.
Yeah,
exactly.
became a bit more comfortable. So it did. I think it did become a little bit more comfortable
I
as
bet,
we
I bet they
went
said
along.
he's never coming back on.
No, he invited me back on, whether he meant it or not.
Yeah,
it's another thing
politeness.
entirely.
Out of
Well,
politeness.
It's being polite, yeah.
But I did say they were more than welcome when, you know, someone drops out, which is incidentally probably going to be Chinny, to
Beg your
come on
pardon.
our show. I said Chinny's the one who tends to not turn up. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I said, you know,
Well,
next time.
lately, but we've all had our moments.
Yeah. I said, next time he doesn't turn up, you're more than welcome to join us. So, and they were like, oh,
Yeah.
right. Really? And I think they'd be great. So, yeah, we'll get either Kyle or Adam on. Either would be good, or take it in turns. You know, Carl can cover one time and Adam can cover the other, or they can play rock, paper, scissors, whatever way they want to work it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was only the second time they've had a guest on, so I felt very privileged.
And the last.
And the last time I'm on,
We learned our lesson from that shit.
they've done 100 shows. So go and give it a listen. If you haven't listened already, it is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't want to make that sound like, oh, it's pretty good. It's really good. And I have started listening more regularly, but tends to be, I'll be honest, I listen mainly to audiobooks in the car. So it's when you get 15 hours a month on Spotify. When my 15 hours runs out, I listen to podcasts until it redeems and I get another 15 hours.
What do you mean you get 15 hours a month on Spotify?
So with Spotify audiobooks, it's a little bit like Audible, except rather than giving you one token, you can read one book a month. You can read as many as you like, but you only get 15 hours.
Right.
I never realized there was a time limit.
Yeah. So you get 15 hours. You can buy extra hours for a tenner, and you get, I think it's another 10 hours or whatever for 10 quid or something like that, which lasts for 12 months. So you can spread that over the 12 months as you top up.
Yeah.
If you listen to more than 15 hours. So it is a weird, but it works fine for me because I travel like about an hour a day to work and back.
Yeah.
So it covers 15 days basically of my working month. So I have around a week where I can't listen and I just listen to other stuff for a week. And then it renews and I start listening again. So there you go. But it was great to have me on. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And I hope it was all right. You know, when you think like, ooh, was it all right? I don't know. Was that what they wanted?
No, I never think that. I'm always like, they're lucky to have me, and I nailed that shit.
Maybe that's how I should think. I was thinking, they should be privileged to have me on
everyone gets
this
to feel
show.
this way because it depends on how awesome you are. But you know.
How much did they pay you?
Nothing. I did it for completely free. I think I should have charged. How much do you think I should have charged? At least like 5 quid.
No,
maybe
500
Maybe
quid.
3 figures.
Tenner.
Bringing excellence.
Tenner.
250 quid minimum.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty funny as well. You know, we had.
You always think you're funny, but you're not.
I am funny. I am a funny guy.
No,
I'm
you're
funny.
funny in a sort of like, what's that funny smell? What's
Funny
that?
looking.
You know what I
Funny.
mean?
I'm generally just funny. Just saying. Right. On that note, I guess we should talk about what we normally talk about, which is video
Where are you going?
games.
Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What you been playing?
I'm not gonna get interrupted, boy.
What you been playing?
Right.
Right.
It's starting. Well, I'm guessing it's not Chinny.
Oh,
Just
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the number of games played, and I'm reckoning it
How
isn't
about I
Chinny's
start?
turn.
I remember
How
we.
about-
I
how about
remember.
I start?
I
How
remember
about-
us three having a conversation about we can't talk about all the games because the show would be too long. And now
Yeah, really.
I get penalised.
It's almost like he's never happy.
I get penalised for playing the least amount of games.
Well, we expect more than one.
Well,
You know,
I said, what's
More
this
than
wee
one.
shit? I'm a fine with whatever Chinny has time to play after having set up a stream and an event for a loved one and taking care of a young
yes,
baby.
Jew.
you've had since last Sunday.
Oh,
know,
for
yeah,
fuck's
I know,
sake.
I know, pathetic.
Anyway, I'm going to
Pathetic.
start.
Hello to Chill Robots, by the way.
Hi. And Matthew Bassett.
I'm Matthew Bassett.
Go, Duke.
Go, Duke.
All right, I just want to make sure Stu is done cursing you out.
I wasn't. I was saying hello to Chill Robots in the chat.
Yeah, but before, whatever. Anyway, I have played a number of demos that I downloaded, not Next Fest. These were pre-Next Fest, I think, most of them. And I want to start with one called Sarah's Adventures Time Travel because it has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and I can't for the life of me figure out why. What the fuck is wrong with you people? It has the worst voice acting in an opening sequence ever. Can I play this audio, Chinny, so people can hear how bad it is?
Go for it.
Yeah. I think it'll be
Okay,
fine.
here we go. This is the audio. You ready? Here we go. This is this lady, and like, this is literally like 10 seconds in. You're not missing much of the stuff before this.
I think. One day, I'll work up to be a world-famous curator.
She works in a museum.
But for now, this is where I'm at. See that guy? He's the love of my life. Well, it's kind of one-sided. My plan is, we'll fall in love and become a museum power couple.
Like, there's nothing in the game. I mean, it's just, I'm working in a museum. I have a flower in my hair, and there's this hot guy. And then suddenly they cut to him asking this woman to marry him. And she's got tears in her eyes watching from the wings.
Nothing is going to plan. Why did I even move to this city? I wish I could just disappear and escape from everything.
And then she falls into some sort of rift in the space-time continuum, and she lands on a dude in like North Troppingshire in like 1421. It's the weirdest goddamn setup ever, and it's the dumbest, worst voice acting. It's completely.
do you know what? I thought the voice acting was actually
Oh,
okay.
for fuck's
I
sake!
didn't
I
mind
knew it.
that.
How did I know it?
wasn't.
Get the fuck out of here! It's
that
terrible.
I've heard way more wooden.
Yeah,
It
because you
wasn't
know
that.
what you've heard.
Man, well, that's because you play a lot of stupid, shitty
I've
games.
had
that
way
have
worse. I've
worse
heard
voice
way
acting.
worse.
That's exactly what.
But here's just let me.
Stuff.
Here's my review of this game.
No, let me put this to you. That someone said, this is what's on Steam. I'm just looking at the Steam page. This is what they said. Strap in for a wild ride with Sarah's Adventure Time Travel.
No, there's no wild ride.
It's like Doctor Who meets Lara
No, it's
Croft.
not. It's nothing. No, absolutely. How the fuck can you do that to people? There is nothing in this game that's at all like Doctor Who, except she moved from one point in time to another. And Lara Croft, my ass. There's nothing Lara Croftian here.
And they had a love child with a glitchy flux capacitor.
No. Do not start bringing Back to the Future into this shit. How dare you? How dare you look at that and go, I need to read that out on the show. It's bullshit. Stop it.
It redeems itself. Listen, it redeems itself.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
I'll bet you it doesn't.
It says this game has more bugs than a cheap motel mattress, but hey, at least it's time-sucking laugh riot.
That's not the problem that it has bugs. The problem with it is it's a piece of shit. This is a mobile game where it's just it's not even like just click here, you know, because I play a lot of games where it's like click here. Instead, it's like it zooms in, it grays out everything in the screen except this one circle, and then it puts a big yellow arrow pointing at the thing you have to click on. And it's like, is this game designed for like 2-year-olds who don't know how to read? Like, what the fuck? Push this. There was nothing entertaining about this at all. I played it for like 20 minutes, and the whole time I'm like, just let me play the game. It's like, we need to revitalize this brewery that we've got here. Click here, click here, click here. Oh, God.
But let me ask you
It's
this,
such
though.
a shitty piece of shit.
Was her husband hot, though? Was he a
She
hot
doesn't have a
guy?
husband. She
well,
has
the-
this
Well, the one
guy
she
who
wanted
fell
to
under
marry.
a tree.
Yeah. But did he look? Was he hot though?
Everybody looks like they're out of some sort of weird cartoon, and it's just so ridiculous. And that's right. Here in the order board, we need to get this building set up for. Oh God!
Wow.
I can't believe this has any positive reviews, let alone overwhelmingly
I think
positive.
maybe they're
it must be
ironic.
bots.
Maybe they're
Well,
ironic.
it's either ironic or it's bots, and either way, it's shit. So shame on anybody who ever gave this positive reviews.
Don't believe the hype.
And
don't think there is
everybody
any
who
hype.
goes by Steam reviews in terms of, well, it's overwhelmingly positive, it must be good. Well, I'm glad I only played the demo, because if I had paid money for this, I guess I could refund it, but still.
Still, you'd have been upset.
Oh, God. What
You
a
would have
terrible,
been,
terrible
been
game.
very, very upset. Very upset. But I'll be honest, I look at this and like, who would buy this? I mean, you wouldn't have bought this anyway, would you? Let's be honest.
I mean, there's a chance I would have looked at the overwhelmingly positive reviews and thought, you know, if there wasn't a demo, and thought, you know, oh, well, you know, it's about you know, it's time management. It's, you know, it's sort of Stardew Valley like. It's nothing like Stardew. Stardew Valley is fun. This is not fun. All the people who left positive reviews.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Exactly.
Shit. Shitty shit.
Shame on you.
Yes.
Shame on you.
So that's my first game.
Go on, talk
Sarah's
about another.
Adventures
Go on,
Time
talk about
Travel.
another
Okay,
one.
there's another game that someone else recommended to me last week
This
called
is
The
good.
Precinct, which is actually pretty good. I had kind of a good time with it.
It
is. It's also kind of handholdy in the demo because I mean it's just a demo and it's just letting you get the sense for it. But you know, I had a good time with it. It's pretty clear what you need to do, but it's not, you know, flashing a yellow sign like click here, click here. Yeah, the graphics were good. The sound, the audio, you know, the voice acting is
Voice acting's a
okay.
bit ropey. I
Yeah,
agree. It was pretty
and
ropey.
the dialogue was pretty shitty. It's like
Yeah, it is.
cutscenes that are way too long. It's like, his dad was the best lieutenant I ever worked with. And like, oh, I'm gonna go out on the street, yeah. And it's like very, you know, cardboard characters and stuff. But that said, the mechanics worked well, and I like the fact that you have some options about how you deal with people, but there's clearly a procedure you're supposed to do. I trust that at some point it's gonna like put you to a dilemma, and it's not gonna be clear what to do, because everything in the demo is pretty much like, okay, here are these bank robbers shooting at cops. Yes, you need to use lethal force. Here's a guy spray painting on a wall. Okay, no lethal force here. I expect at some point there will be some...
I mean, I think it looks pretty damn good, to be fair, and it graphically.
It does. I mean, yeah, graphically it's solid. There's a part where it's like, okay, there's a car speeding through the city. Here, come with me and you fly the chopper, rookie.
Yeah,
it's like, wait a minute, what? Why is the rookie flying the chopper?
I said this last week.
I know.
I said,
it's
why
just
is
like
there a police rookie who's suddenly got a pilot's license and can fly the chopper?
Yes. And
but it was
clearly
still
they
fun flying
wanted
the chopper, to be
it
fair.
was fun flying the chopper, and like it's pretty easy to keep the light on the dude. And
there's like call for stingers and call for backup.
They just wanted you to and I think the way to do that, if I was the developer, I'd be like, okay, now we're gonna have you play as this other character who is a pilot,
the chopper pilot.
Right. But whatever. I mean, that's a pretty minor complaint, and the vehicles handled pretty well in terms of like they're not supposed to be handling super well because they're cop cruisers. They're not super souped up, speeder cars. Yeah, I had a good time with it. I think I did wish list it, but I'm not going to be buying it right away. But if it comes around,
the price is right, is my philosophy on this game.
Well, I'm such a cheapskate. I'm like, I'm not just looking at the price. I'm looking at how much off it is, because if it's $20, that's not a lot, but I'd rather pay 10. So
true. I'll be honest, if this comes out and it's like 15 quid, I'll probably buy it. I'll probably buy it at 15 quid.
I wouldn't blame you, because it is a fun enough game. So yeah,
and it just looks good. It's like a diorama. It's great.
It's isotopic or isometric, whatever it's called, and I had a good time with it.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. Oof.
Yeah,
I made a recommendation you like.
This is one of those rare moments when Stu and I agree. How about that? Although we agreed on the Play My Game last week, Dustland delivered.
Yeah, we did. That was pretty good too. Well, I'll talk about something now. I played a game which I bought. When Steam did the like horror sale and they sold loads of horror themed games with money off.
Yes,
I bought a game called Buckshot Roulette.
Buckshot Roulette. Is this like Russian roulette but with books?
No, Buckshot.
Oh, Buckshot.
Buckshot. Oh. So it's a shotgun, pump action shotgun.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's brilliant. It's lovely. I love this game. It cost me.
Is it Russian roulette?
Yeah, it's basically Russian roulette with a shotgun in the middle of a table.
How is that brilliant? Like you pull the trigger and you die or you don't?
Well, you see, that's what you think. And that's what I thought when I first started playing it, right? And I was like, ugh. Is this it? And
Did him out!
And you can either obviously choose to shoot yourself or choose to shoot the opponent. Okay. So you get a choice between who you shoot.
Why would you not shoot the opponent?
Because if you shoot yourself and it's a blank, the opponent misses a go. So you get that. So it's very simplistic at the beginning. Okay, and you've literally just got these are the shells. So it shows you what's going in. Like how many rounds are live, how many are blanks, and then you've got to choose what to do. And you do the first round, but once you finish the first round, that's when it starts getting interesting, because that's when it starts giving you modifiers.
Okay.
So there's loads of them. So you basically get in the main game, you get 2 modifiers to choose. So and they're random. So they just come out of the box and you get 2. So say for instance, you'll get a burner phone is one of the modifiers. So you get a burner phone, which can predict the future. So when you ring it, it'll say something like the 3rd round's a live one, or the 2nd round's a dud. You get magnifying glasses that let you look what the next shot's gonna be. You get an adrenaline injection, which will let you steal a modifier off the other person. Yeah, there's so many of them. I can't even remember them all. There's loads and loads. You get a switch.
Like a switch.
You get a switchblade, and what that does is you cut the end off the shotgun to make it into a sawn-off shotgun, and then it does 2 damage instead of 1 damage.
What about handcuffs? What are the handcuffs?
Yeah, the handcuffs mean the next person misses a go, so they miss the next go. But what's cool is
So it's all
you
about
can-
thinking ahead and trying to map
Yeah.
your strategy based on.
yeah, but
okay.
not only that, when you can use as many as you like, so you can like do this whole thing and then do like 4 damage in one go. Because you can get them to like miss 2 goes and then you can do more damage and you can have a look what's in the gun and then you can do. So you can do all these one after the other, but you only get, unless you've handcuffed them, you only get one
Yeah.
shot. And it's so, once you get into the main game, get past that first little tutorial bit where you're just shooting at each other, it becomes really interesting. So you get through all that, right? And then it's like a boss fight, right? And you do the boss fight, and then it's the end of the game. You've completed the game. And I'm like, is that it? Is that it? And then when you go back to, so it starts over again, but then there's a bottle of pills, and the pills are double or nothing, right? So the double or nothing pills. So when you take the pills, it becomes an endless game. So you can keep playing. And each time you do 3 rounds, you can do double or nothing again. And obviously you can double your score. So then it's how high a score can you get? So what's the highest score? But I keep on gambling and having another go. And it's obviously different every time because the power-ups you get are always different and there's loads of them. Now, in addition to this, there's multiplayer, online and local. So this game, I paid £1.40 for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a chocolate biscuit. And I've already had more fun with this than I would with a chocolate biscuit. So this is better than a chocolate biscuit.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this. I think I might like a chocolate biscuit more, but I mean,
No,
that's just my opinion.
It's so
I'm glad
honestly,
you're liking it.
It's so good because there's so much to. And what's really even cooler, right? And they could have easily not done this, but there's different like animations for when you chop the end of the barrel off and when he does it. And I know that's so silly, but obviously they thought about it. Like when you do it, you're literally sawing it off, you know, with the switchblade thing. When he does it, he just stabs it in the table and just cuts it off in one swish. And
I mean, I guess what I don't get is if you're shot in the face with a shotgun, you're gonna die.
No,
and so it would be game over, wouldn't it?
No, they give you a defib and blood transfusions.
That's how it works. Is just a defib. Is just get you
defib
back.
And blood
transfusions. Okay, fair enough. I'm trying to bring logic into a video game about.
That's very illogical. But the soundtrack's awesome. It's set in like some seedy nightclub. There's like really booming techno music going on in the background, and it's just like you've gone into this seedy back room to play this gambling game.
Yeah,
I think. For £1.40, it's absolutely brilliant.
It does sound like you get a lot for your money. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think Chinny would love this. And what I really loved about it is it's not card based, so it's got a similar vibe, but it's a gun rather than card. And you get to shoot someone in the face. What's not to like?
Well, I mean, there's lots of games you can do that in. To be fair,
it's got like a Inscription vibes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a great vibe. Yeah, it's got a really good vibe to it.
Now, Chinny, having heard that recommendation that Stu just made, do you agree that you would like this?
Possibly.
All right. So if he gifted it to you, maybe you'd give it a shot.
At least it's a step in the right direction from Stuart, because usually he's
recommending.
Oh, thank you. Usually he's recommending games that are like text heavy.
There is some text in this,
look
but
like a lot of text.
Like
there's
the
not a lot.
story-based, like indie game, 2D bullshit.
Yeah, there's no
things.
story.
And like Stuart's known me for a long time, and he knows that I don't like those games, and he continues to try to get me to play them.
I definitely feel like you would like this, though.
I think I'd like this. Yeah,
I think you'd like it.
This is a video.
Let's
game.
find out.
And I feel like we do. You know what I suggest? I'm going to make a suggestion. I know we're fucking shite at this. But I feel like you two should buy it. We should play it together, play the multiplayer and have a go.
Okay. Matthew Bassett said it's made by the same people, he thinks.
Inscription. Interesting. Oh, well, that explains it. But it's brilliant. Really top game. Love it.
Yeah.
So there you
Buckshot Roulette was made by Mike Klubnika. And Mike Klubnika made Unsorted Horror. And that's it. That's the only other game that Mike Klubnika made. But the publisher is Critical Reflex, and they put out a bunch of games: Lunacid, Arctic Eggs, Mouthwashing, Teleforum, Aeon Drive, but no Inscription. Sorry,
No.
I don't think that's correct.
I think what's interesting though, it didn't have a multiplayer originally,
Uh-huh.
and all the community was like, "Oh my god, this would be brilliant if we could play my friends, and shoot my friends in the face." And he
Right.
just did it. He just put it in the game. He's like, "Fine, I will do that."
Yeah.
And so made a fully fledged multiplayer to play in it.
Sure. Daniel Mullins Games is who made Inscription. So they made Pony Island apparently, and the Hex. So they have made some freaky games.
But yeah, this is another one up there as great. Really,
Yeah.
really cool. So there you go.
Word.
Word.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're liking it.
I'm loving it.
Cool.
I love the aesthetic.
Yeah. All right. Should we talk about Play My Game, or am I going again?
You can go again if you want. And then
Okay,
we'll
I'll
get
go
to that.
again. I'm playing some Blops 6 multiplayer, but there's nothing to say about that.
I played it. I played that.
Yeah, why don't you
I
talk to
played
Chinny
that.
about that? He's
Oh,
played that.
okay, fine. I assume, like me, Chinny, you're only playing Team Deathmatch because that's all you ever play.
I clicked A until I got into a game.
And it
I-
probably had a bunch of different game types.
Yeah,
that you
and the
played.
game type I played it was similar to Headquarters. I feel like.
Yeah,
But it wasn't called Headquarters.
right.
So that's
It's called something different. I'll
It's
find out what it's called. Go ahead.
something different, and it was fine. I remember playing that, going, "That's good. I'm okay with that." And I haven't played it since. I've never even thought about it since. So much so that I forgot that I played it, and I've added it on the
Was
list.
it called Hard Point, Chinny? Was that what
It
you,
could-
or
yeah, that's-
Headquarters?
No, yeah.
Or Infected?
Hard Point sounds right. Yeah, Hard.
Oh, I
Point.
didn't know there was a Nuketown.
There is a
Cool.
Nuketown. There's a.
Oh man,
I
I
saw
like
a
Nuketown.
playlist
That's a
where
good
you
map.
can play Nuketown over.
Yeah,
and
it's
over and
24/7. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So-
Nuketown. That's a good
No,
map.
I thought it was good. I like a bit of Blops. Who doesn't like a bit of COD
Yeah.
multiplayer? You know what you're getting, don't you?
I'll tell you, the thing that bugs
It's like
me
a
about COD
McDonald's. It's like
multiplayer.
a McDonald's. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, it sure is. Domination mode drives me nuts. The maps are too small for domination mode.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't hold them, and besides, nobody sits and holds the points. It drives me crazy because if I try to hold the point, the 7 of them come and blow me away, and it's just like
Maybe that's why
I
people
need
don't
backup.
hold the points.
I guess so.
'Cause-
But then just play Team Deathmatch. That's why I just play Team Deathmatch because I can't trust my team. I mean, those game modes are probably good if you have a group that you're playing with. But if I'm just by myself, forget it. Forget it.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It was fine.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's fun. I think, Call of Duty has always been the gold standard of first person shooter, jump in, jump out. And they've gotten better at letting you jump in and jump out. Like for a while, Call of Duty took a very long time to load up. And now not so much, which is very nice. It's not quite as fast as back in the day. Like it used to be just you start it up, boom, you're in. Now you got to load up and it's bringing you into the lobby and there's a bit of faffing about, but still, it's, the kill streaks are great. I had to switch away from the RC truck, the remote control exploding thing, because I just kept getting pwned when I try to bring it out. I'm not good at sneaking around behind people. So, but that's okay. I get that UAV, and there's the perks that can start you off closer to having your kill streaks, which is very nice for me because I don't usually get a lot of kills before I die. So it's nice to get more of them with this perk that starts you off closer to that target. So, yes, hi.
Cool.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Right. All right, now it's time.
Yeah, shall we
Or you
do
wanna
shall
do
we
another
do
one?
the Play My Game, bitch?
Yeah. Bitch.
Yeah, bitch! Sorry, sucks! Yeah, bitch! Play my game, play my game, bitch. The boss!
Yeah, it's got the Breaking Bad connection.
Yeah, bitch!
Hack 2.
Now, those were just random sound clips. I was not trying to say anything about the story of this particular game. This game that we played is Sifu, which is a karate game.
Well,
martial arts.
Let's let Chinny start as he
Go ahead,
he
Chinny.
decided
Start
on
it
this
up.
game. It was his recommendation.
Yeah.
Let's hear what he thinks.
I heard about this game a lot. And I'm not a particularly big fan of roguelikes. But I do like good combat in video games. And so this is a game where you basically play as a young man in his 20. Well, he's 20.
Or a woman, you can play as
you
male
can
or
play
female.
as a woman. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can pick a man or a woman, and then you fight your way through. And then every time you die, you get a year added on, and you come back, but you're a year older. But then you die, and then you got 2 years, and then when you come back, you are aged 2 years older. And if you beat bosses, that age goes down. So after a while, you start aging not just 1 year or 2 years, you start aging 3, 4, 5. So you start to get older and older and older. And as you do get older, when you get into your 50s, your health goes down, but your damage goes up. And then I think it does it again when you're in your 60s. And then I think the game, I can't remember when the game ends, but I think it's about 75 or something like, or 70 or something like that. And then
Interesting.
Then the game ends. So you see your character get older and older, and you have to fight your way through. It's a very linear game, and you have to fight your way through lots of enemies. It's very combat based, very hand to hand martial arts, true to its sort of very authentic. It feels, It feels
Well, even the story being like a revenge thing, isn't it? You're
course.
taking revenge on all these different bosses who killed you.
Movies aren't stupid. They fill us with romance and hatred and revenge fantasies.
I mean, I loved it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I absolutely love this game. I think it was, and I knew this going in. It's brutally hard. It's so difficult.
It is.
Yes. But it's so enjoyable, and I think what comes from brutally hard games is the satisfaction of succeeding is a lot more gratifying. So yeah, I love it. The problem is I played it in a good 2 hour session, and I remember coming off it going, "Oh, I'm going to stop playing this because I'm getting addicted here. This is
it could eat your life."
What's really great about it is just the animations and just how
Animations are very
good
well done,
everything looks. When you
yeah.
kick the shit out of someone, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And
look
the
amazing.
graphics are not like super realistic, but that's okay. It does a very good job with the style that it uses.
Yeah, it's
which is great.
it's sort of like a really polished PS2 style.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like but like the environments sort of look better than the characters. I love the style. Combat feels great.
Yeah, it does. Feels amazing.
I love the music. I think the music is
was
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love like little things like it's slick. Like when he picks up a weapon, he flips it up with his foot.
Kicks it up with his foot. And just like
Great
attention
stuff.
to details, so impressive.
Or her. Sorry. All right. Well, for the
okay, I'm
purpose
just
of this
playing.
conversation,
I'm just
we're going to say
I know,
he.
I'm just playing.
But
yes.
It's really cool. And there's like you can unlock moves, but if you unlock them 5 times, it unlocks them permanently because this is a roguelike. So if you unlock the same move 5 times, you can when you come back, you've always got that move. So for me, the game was like, why would I only temporarily upgrade something? So I just started to like upgrade things permanently, and I'm going to progress my way through that.
So I've played to the end of the first boss, right, and beat him, which is the one that's in all of the bamboo. So you sort of run around in bamboo, and he keeps on jumping out at you. So I beat him. So I stopped playing at that point. So will that still be beaten when I start playing again, or does it start again from the beginning?
No, I think you can with most roguelikes. I don't know for sure, but I think you can continue that run because if you didn't die,
no, I didn't die.
You are still on that run. If you know what I mean.
So when you die because you get like three lives or whatever.
Well, you don't die when you reach the age of 75. I think it is.
Right. Okay.
Then that's it. It's over.
Yeah. So when you fully die, you have to start right from the very beginning again.
Yes.
Yeah. So
but actually no, you can go back to because the levels are called hideouts.
Yeah.
So the next hideout is a nightclub. So you can.
That's right.
So I don't know how old are you when you beat that boss.
About 26.
So you start the nightclub as 26. Right?
Yeah.
And then you get to say. So what happened to me was I started the nightclub. I was 30, right?
Right.
And then I got to the very last boss and died, right?
Yeah.
Well, I got too old. So then I can restart it from that hideout, but I'm 30.
Okay.
So you always start from the age you were.
The age you
Yeah.
were when
at
you
the
get
start
to
of
the
that
second
sort of
level,
like
rather
but
than having
or
to start
if
the
you
whole thing
want,
over.
which is what I've done, is
You can
just
start again.
start again
Start
from
over again.
20
And
from the
do
very start.
better.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha,
so
gotcha.
it's
That's
interesting.
cool. It's a
Yeah.
nice. It's trying to find that middle
It's a
ground
balance,
between
yeah.
the punishing roguelike of Rogue and your standard game where you have check saves all the
Yeah,
time.
and I feel
don't have
like
to
when
worry
you
about
when you
dying.
play it, like when I did the nightclub, like I was losing like ages, like in really silly ways. I was like, man, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
lost
Sure,
that.
right.
You know, so every
Yeah.
death really hurts.
Right.
Whereas in most games, you know, a death doesn't hurt you.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
doesn't
mean?
feel unfair
Yeah,
though, does
where-
it? And
no,
I
it
think
doesn't,
that's
but what,
No,
where
at
what
no
I'm
point
saying
does
is
the game
like
feel
when
unfair.
when you die in a video game, it's not really that punishing. It's
There's
like,
no
whatever.
consequence really.
But
No.
but in this, it's like, oh no, I just got
There is a
killed again.
consequence.
Like this stupid henchman that I've killed like 100 of already has
Right.
just got me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but it does get tricky. I think the first level that you finish there, Stu, is probably quite easy in comparison to the
compared
next
to the
one,
rest.
because the next one is really difficult.
By the way, I'm playing on easy, which I think is a
Right.
lot more forgiving.
Right.
So it is a
That
lot more
explains
forgiving.
why he was only 26. When you
Yeah,
finished it.
yeah, that probably does.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm old. I ain't got time.
No, there's no shame in it. But what I'm saying is like the next hideout increases its difficulty a lot.
Yeah, I imagine it would.
Yeah, and
But I love it. I think the style of graphics is amazing. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think out of any game I've played in recent memory, this has by far and away got the best combat.
yeah,
It's just so fluid and it's so cinematic.
it sort of reminds me of like Sleeping Dogs, but like you don't.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs was sort of haunted by the success of Batman Arkham Asylum because like you know you sort of span the parry, whereas the parry is like it's there, but like you've got parry, you've got block, but you've also got sort
Yeah.
of dodge, and dodge can be more
Yeah.
valuable than the parry.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
definitely.
You've got like a stamina bar for your block, which can be broken eventually.
Yeah.
Which is also something you could upgrade. So yeah, it's
Yeah, and all the special moves in the slow-mo
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So cool.
it's just a cool game, and I will play it again. I absolutely love it. I've played it since after that too, I think, and I like it's definitely a game that sort of rewards you to look. I have to get back in the mood for it because I played it. I was like, oh my god, it's only been like 2 days and I'm terrible at it. So yeah, you've got.
And there's so many combos. You don't necessarily need to know the combos,
No.
but they definitely help.
Yeah.
And the certainly remembering how I messed up because I started playing it with the mouse and keyboard, and then I realized, okay, I should play this with the controller.
Yeah.
And so when they were telling me here's how you block and parry and all that, I was learning it on the mouse and keyboard, so I didn't really. I had to go back and look at what the keys were for the controller, but. Yeah, I mean, I think I recognize how great this is in terms of how it's made.
It's
and,
not gonna
and
be your
certainly
thing,
I put
though,
it
is
on the
it?
easiest level. I was surprised at how much I stuck with it because I did the tutorial and I was, you have to master certain moves to pass the tutorial. And I felt like I just barely made it because I had to, I don't know, maybe my hands are getting old or something, but I had trouble doing the thing in the right order.
We're
when I
just getting
needed to.
old. We're just getting old.
I mean,
and
I
to
assume
make you
that's
feel a
it,
bit
but I also
better,
think it was tricky.
When I came off this game after 2 hours, like my left fingers, like I could feel like my hands like cramping up a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's
And
a
that's
lot
the
of
thing too, is
tension
that
when
like,
you're
right,
playing this.
once you start playing it, you have a lot of freedom, but during the tutorial, it's like, you have to do
You
this
have to do
move and
these
whatever.
combos,
And it's fine. But anyway, yeah, I got through that boss in the bamboo and everything. And I thought it was, I was impressed by the graphics. I was impressed by the music, and I did enjoy it as far as I was playing it, but I also felt like, all right, I think, at this point in my life, when I can feel the tension and I can feel how like, and I had it on the easiest level too. It wasn't going to get less tense from there. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to step away from it now. But I do appreciate everything that's good about it. So I would
mean,
give it a thumbs up if it's your type of thing.
Can I just say the guy who's playing this is just making this look easy.
Well, of course.
So good. So good.
The two things I did learn about it, one, apparently the word is pronounced Shifu in Mandarin. And this was the coolest thing I saw on the Wikipedia page. The team initially planned to release the game in 2021, but it was delayed to the following year in order to further polish the game and avoid overworking the team. So that's awesome. I'm glad to see that they did not go for a meaningless crunch, causing stress and strain for the developers, which is very nice. I like to see that.
But it was definitely worth it because what they've produced is a really polished kung fu game that is pretty true, I would imagine, to real life moves.
Well, I mean, Well,
So
I mean, it was inspired by Jackie Chan movies, which are well known for their being very realistic. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, it's it's very well made. It's very fluid, very good to look at, and yeah, I think we can say 3 thumbs up from us.
3
on that.
massive thumbs up, I would have said.
2 massive thumbs up, 1 thumbs
Eh,
up.
Well, 2 big
It's a
ones.
thumbs up, but it's
So on Steam, this has got like 9 out of 10. IGN gave it 9 out of 10. Very highly rated.
Yeah.
So,
I can see why. I can totally see
there's
why.
a video on YouTube of like no death gameplay. Yeah, just to show you how good people are at this game.
Oh, yeah. But there's always going to be those, and they're probably quite young, and they've got good reflexes, and they remember button combinations.
In fact, I think this gameplay we're watching now is like he hasn't died once, and he's got some
No.
in the club, which is incredible.
And I'd be curious to know how many hours they played before they did this run through of not dying once.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
There you go.
Okay.
There's Shifu.
Shifu.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a little old game called Pentiment.
Oh, snap. Speaking of exciting martial arts games,
Indeed.
this is not
because
one of them.
This game is super exciting.
Yeah.
In fact, joking aside, there's been a bit of a development while I was playing it today, and I've been playing it.
Oh.
I've played it for quite a few hours now.
Go on.
But it has got quite interesting because there's been a murder. Because I'll be honest, I was playing the game and I'm quite enjoying this, just talking to villagers and going eating food with them and just, shooting the breeze, seeing weird ghost things jumping across the viaduct or aqueduct, whichever it is. I can never remember which is which, but whatever it is, the viaduct, and some weird stuff going on and getting into politics with the abbot, and disagreeing. I'll be honest, and I don't know how much this is going to affect my game because there is a lot of the telltale that will be remembered. When you say something that's a bit controversial, it's like, hey, remember that? Well, I'll be any opportunity to piss the abbot off. I've been taking it because I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God and all that stuff. So I thought, why would I be nice to him in the game when I don't believe in that stuff in real life?
Well,
so,
you don't have to necessarily believe what someone believes in order to be nice to them.
I guess, but he's a bit of a dick as well, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, well, that's a reason to be.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a
less
dick.
nice, I suppose.
And they're having this quite deep talk at the dinner table. So this Baron comes, who's not impressed with the illustrations that one of the monks is doing. Yeah. And then he decides you should do it instead because you're way better than that shit monk who's doing it.
Yeah, I am. Fuck that monk.
And then he invites you to dinner with the abbot. Well, they're not impressed with that because it's like, why is this dude at the dinner table? He's not even a monk.
Yeah.
And then he starts having this conversation about this guy whose view on religion, it needs modifying, like modernizing and updating and all of this stuff. Well, the abbot's not too keen on that stuff, but you're given the choice to either engage with him in the conversation and have a bit of a philosophical conversation about the religion and what needs to happen for it to be updated to modern times. I mean, modern being, I don't know, 1700 or something in this case.
Right.
Or you can choose to side with the abbot and say, I don't think this is appropriate to talk about at the dinner table.
Right.
Or you can just say nothing. You can just sort of be like neutral.
Keep your yap shut.
Yeah, just be neutral. Of course I engaged in it, right? And the abbot
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course I did. And the abbot was not happy. So much so, he more or less told me to shut it. Right?
Stu, Chinny, put it on the screen.
He more or less told me to shut
Yes, he told you to shut it. Yes.
Shut my trap.
Right.
So that happens, and I'm like, wow.
Shut the fuck up, kid.
That's him.
Like, ugh. He's like, shut up. So that happens. Then I go to bed. Then I come back the following day, and the Baron is leaving. Right, so he's on his way.
Yeah.
But he gives me this nice.
This guy.
Yeah, gives me this nice pin because he's like, oh, you're really nice. I quite like you. And his helper dude gives me a pin. And I go up to do my work. Then there's a scream. So there's a big scream goes on. And then you're going to find out the Baron has been murdered.
Uh-oh, the
someone
Baron's
has
been
murdered him.
murdered.
Baron has been murdered. And then it all gets a bit weird because there's like there's a monk who has an eye patch who was in the wars and stuff.
Yes.
And he's a bit of a like medic. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, come back later and help me examine the body so we can try and find out what happened." Right. So I go back later.
And I need you to help me because I only have one eye. I can't see the other.
Then they have the Baron on a table naked. Right.
Ooh, naked. All right.
So it gets a bit saucy. And then he says, so he's doing a full examination and he's got like a little bit of a wound on his chest. And then he goes, and he has the sex disease on his penis. Right. I was like, oh, right. And you can choose, as you go along, you can choose what traits you have, right? So
sex disease on the penis is with the trait I have.
You can say what secondary. So I did I can't remember. You choose what degree you have in university. And then the secondary degree I chose was medicine.
Yeah.
So then you're given like individual options for dialogue that apply to whatever degree and learning you did. So I thought that was really cool. And I was like, oh, you mean the one that's spreading around the Paris brothels? So you're like,
oh, snap. Yeah, that's how you know it, because you have a degree in medicine. Wink.
Exactly.
I don't have any first-hand experience.
Also, I chose to be a party animal, right? Because you could choose like another trait. And
yeah.
So, but you can
that's
say,
how you know about what diseases prostitutes
but
and
you can
Paris
say
have.
that. You can say, oh, yeah, I know about that. So you can sort of do that as an option because of one of the traits that I chose. Yes. But this game is just brilliant.
Right in the butt.
I'm like, so now I've got to try and figure out who killed him.
Yeah, and so who done it now?
Yeah, so now it's a who done it, and
I've got who has done this, as they say on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And it's based on time, so I've got 1 day and 19 hours to solve it.
Okay,
from what I can gather.
Yeah.
But yes,
clock is ticking. I can say that clocks at the time. Sundial is ticking.
The sundial is ticking.
It wouldn't be ticking, but sundial is moving according to the shadows.
And then I'll tell you what, this game just does so many things so well. I'm talking to the shepherd dude.
Yes.
And he's got very basic text. You know, when we talked about the text depending on how educated you are.
Level. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I'm talking to the dude, right, about his sheep and stuff. And then he tells me that he's done loads of reading, right? So you're like, one of your responses is, "Oh, I didn't know you could read," right? So that's one of your responses to him.
You look like a slack-jawed shithead.
And then, yeah, exactly. So a lot of it's like assumptions as well, which is kind of cool. And then he says, "Oh yeah, I've read most of the books in the library at the monastery," right? And then suddenly you scribble out what he said, and then he's suddenly written in this really cool script. So it's almost like
because you're adjusting your expectations
because you've suddenly found out he's educated, so you adjust how his script looks. Because I'm getting the impression you're the one writing the book, as it were. You know, you're the one who's actually writing all this stuff and illustrating. And it's just super cool. And I was like, that's just
an interesting interplay of text and image and story and setting. Yeah. I just couldn't get into it, but I do agree that it does a lot of things very well.
It does everything very well, in my opinion.
Except for being entertaining.
It is entertaining, though.
To me.
And it has become more entertaining because now there's been a murder, so I've got a murder to solve. And it's all time bound.
Stuck with it till the murder.
It's a little bit interestingly time bound, so you've got to choose what you do because some people
you can't be fanning about, running up and down, growing crops or nothing.
If I'd decided to go and question the suspects first and not gone to look at the, to see what the autopsy revealed or, the guy examining the body revealed, I wouldn't have then been able to do that because I had to go and see him that evening. So if I'd have left it, I wouldn't have seen those scenes play out, I'm guessing. So if I'd have gone to interview people instead. So I like the fact that there are repercussions to doing stuff and not doing stuff. I just like, I think it's great. And this is a very complex visual novel.
It is. It's very complex. And it's not complex for the sake of complexity. Like it is giving the player a lot to take in, but for good reasons.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that makes it stand apart from a lot of other games that want to do similar types of things, because the only thing you got to do in order to do that is, first of all, get some good artists, and two, take the time to do it right. And they clearly took the time to do it right.
And also what they do is, which is great, there is there are decisions to be made, in the game. Whereas a lot of
Yes.
visual novels, you literally just reading it with fancy interactive, in like animated
Right.
pictures or whatever it may be.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
this has genuine repercussions to the choices you make throughout the game, as far as I can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a big recommend. Big thumbs up from me. There you go.
There you go. There
Big
you go.
thumbs up. So give
The
it a
big
go.
thumbs up. There
And
you
it's
go.
on Game Pass. So if
Yes,
you've
it
got
is.
any interest at all, if you've got Game Pass, then there's no reason not to give it a go.
Speaking of which, Ashen is a game on Game Pass, and even though it says Souls-like, I was like, you know what? I want to give it a try. I tried
Okay.
downloading it like 3 times. I couldn't get it to download. I don't know what's going on with this Game Pass game. It says this game is not set up to download into a unique folder. It'll be put with your other games. And I'm like, I can't find it. I did a search on my hard drive for Ashen. I can't. It doesn't show up in my game library on Xbox.
How
I'm like,
weird.
what are you doing? It's so stupid. So if anybody out there, and I've done searches, nothing's coming up. So if anybody knows why I can't download Ashen, a game on Xbox Game Pass for the PC, let me know. Holler at your boy.
That is a
So anyway,
very
yeah.
odd thing.
It's weird. I don't know.
I do not know.
Anything else about Pentiment?
No. So carry on, Duke.
Okay.
It's back over to you.
Yeah, I played one called Teeny Tiny Trains Demo. It's just another train puzzle game. It's on a grid. You got to figure out how to stop trains from getting where they need to go too fast. It's all about delaying things. Don't even bother putting it up, Chinny, because it's really not worth talking about. The one I will talk about is Brighter Shores. And
yeah.
I saw this, and it was new on Steam, and I think it's an alpha or something. I don't know, or it's just a free game. It's like, as soon as I started it up, it's like Andrew Gower's Brighter Shores, brought to you by Andrew Gower. And I'm starting up thinking, who the fuck is Andrew Gower? What the fuck is this?
You don't
it's
know
like
who
on Parks
Andrew
and
Gower?
Yeah, do you not know?
Am I the only one who don't know who the fuck Janine Restrepo is? What the fuck is this?
He made,
So I go.
Andrew Gower made Brighter Shores.
Yeah.
But
You not
what
know?
did he do before that, though?
Well, I don't know. He's too busy
As we
making it.
all know, he's the guy who made RuneScape. So, okay, fair enough. That's a pretty big deal that he
That's a
made
big
RuneScape.
deal.
RuneScape is
RuneScape is a big
one
deal.
of the most important MMORPGs of all
People
time.
are still playing that fucking.
They're still
stupid
playing, and it
game.
always comes when people are like, "Oh, I want a game that's really going to suck my interest up," and people are like, "RuneScape," and I'm like, "Okay, look, I understand that you liked it when you were 10, but fucking let it go, man. It's not a great game."
I want
Like,
a game that, but when I say what I'm playing, people judge me, and I'm like, yeah, RuneScape. It's RuneScape.
I mean, I recognize the depth of RuneScape, but you have to acknowledge, like, the graphics by today's standards are so shit. That
It's
all
not
said,
about the graphics, though, dude.
I know. Well, I'm the one who's usually making that claim. Brighter Shores is a game from 2024, so clearly it doesn't have the baggage of RuneScape from way back in the day. Does that mean it is a good-looking game? Is it fuck-is-like? Does that mean
It
that
looks
it's
better than
moving?
RuneScape.
Well, it looks better than RuneScape, but that's a pretty low fucking bar, isn't it? Does that mean that the gameplay is fluid and fun? Is it fuck-is-like? Does that mean that it was entertaining and enjoyable to play? I barely made it through like 10 minutes of the tutorial. I got so bored because the combat is like, and then the
combat.
the
There's
enemy goes,
combat in these games.
There is combat in this game, yes.
What is this? I
But
don't even know what I'm
it takes
looking
like
at.
5 minutes for you and the goblin to fight each other, and like the goblin's not doing any damage to you, and you do like 1 damage every time you swing, and it takes a while for you to swing. So it's just like you're just sort of sitting there, and then you eventually, and it's got little sliding timers or whatever it is.
It's like
and it just-
watching two slugs have a fight.
it is like watching two slugs have a fight. It was so boring. I was so bored during the combat. When you make an MMORPG, people should not be bored during the combat. And I know that I'm coming from New World, which is I think it. I mean, I don't want to say it's the gold standard of combat, but the combat in New World is pretty good. I think it's pretty well made. And I'm biased, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I still think it's a good game. So anyway, Brighter Shores, again, I get the sense that there's a lot of depth, there's a lot of jobs you can do, and there's all these things. But at the end of it looks like it was made in RPG Maker. Like it's all on this grid, it's all pixel art. And I mean, it's good pixel art. but it's
not
just,
quite pixel art, though, is it? It's
not pixel art, but
it's
isometric.
polygon,
Like
yeah.
it's right, but everything is its own little box. So like, there's no buildings that are anything other than like collections of boxes.
It's a
you know what I
grid,
mean?
yeah, it's
So
gotta be a grid,
it is a grid. And I mean, I didn't want to judge it too harshly. I was like, you know what? I played some games where the graphics aren't amazing, but they still end up being fun. This just wasn't fun. I tried. I really tried.
Can I just say, when you look at this and then you look at The Precinct, which is also an isometric game, there's no comparison, is there? You know, in the standard of graphics.
There isn't. But I mean, to be fair, that's not where they put their time in this game. So I'm not. I'm not trying to be too harsh by the fact that, you know, they didn't make graphics their priority, and it shows though.
Yeah, it does
like,
look old.
The blockiness of it, and
I'll be honest. If you showed me this game and asked me to guess when it came out,
yeah,
I think I'd be saying like, I don't know, about 2003.
Yeah, it looks like a Spiderweb software game, which again,
looks like
Spiderweb has made some good games back in the day.
This doesn't. It probably does look a lot different, but I was just going to say this doesn't look a whole lot different to Neverwinter Nights from back in the day, and I'm sure it probably does. But you know, when you think like this is, I'm sure this is what that looked like.
And I think that his name can't carry it. The nostalgia factor of people who like RuneScape and they're like, "Ooh, it's a new game from the guy who gave me everything I love about RuneScape." They're going to excuse and forgive a lot of the graphics and the wonkiness of the gameplay, but I don't know that they should. You know what I mean? Because you should be able to get more fluid gameplay and better combat on your way to having 500 jobs and 600 levels for each job and whatever it is. So
yeah,
I think it's going to have reviews that are skewed because of, you know, people desperate for a deep world.
Yeah,
and I think we deserve a deep, nostalgia. I think we deserve a deep world, but also more fluid gamelay. So whatever. I'm not going to hate on it because the price is right, and maybe other people will like it better than I do. If you like RuneScape, you're going to like this, I think.
This reminds me of a mobile game. It looks like something you get, you know, when they advertise these games and they have this like animation that makes it look amazing, and it's like not actual gameplay.
Well, I mean, they didn't even do that for this, to be fair. So, I mean, it's not like they have any false advertising. But the other thing I forgot to say is like, it'll say like, go into the, you know, go see the blacksmith. And like, there's no indication of where the blacksmith is. So like the other game I complained about, Sarah's Adventures Time Travel, was like, click this big yellow arrow. This was the exact opposite. It was just wander around until you find the blacksmith. And I was like, come on, give me a little hint. So that was a little frustrating. But I mean, that said, you know, the gameplay wasn't necessarily bad. It was just not fun and not fluid. And the combat was slow and wonky. So, you know, it could have been worse. Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Brighter Shores. Thumbs down.
Nah.
It wasn't very bright.
It was not very bright. And I sure wish I hadn't spent time playing that.
Brilliant.
Now can we call the episode Booty Butts and Booger Bots?
No, we can't.
Since I made that hilarious joke.
Yeah, you didn't. Okay.
All right, is that all the games? Or
that's
do you
all we get. No, that's all the games.
Any news?
Not that I'm aware of. Any news, Chinny?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Okay.
But
so
I
email
have,
then.
I have before we do that, I have got the game for next week's Play My Game, bitch.
Oh, do tell. Is it Metal Slug Tactics?
No, it is. It's not even out yet. It only comes out on Wednesday because it's a big release.
What is it?
It's a big release. So they're coming
Is it
out.
going to be on Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass.
What is it?
It is called Stalker 2. Is out on Wednesday.
Snap. Okay.
Which is obviously a very big release this year. Huge release for Xbox.
Okay.
And the stuff I've seen so far on previews it's pretty good. So
well, we all know what to do with the stuff about the previews. Don't believe the hype. Let's see what happens when it comes out.
You know, these dudes, some of the people making this game have been on the front line in the Ukraine war, you know, in between making this video game.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? This game has been made in probably under a lot of pressure and stress.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're a Ukrainian development team.
And hats off to them for their resistance to Russian horribleness.
Exactly.
I feel like our job is to evaluate whether it's a good game or not.
Okay. But
And
I'm
as
just
Chinny
saying,
always says, like, I don't want to hear a bunch of shit about how beautiful the conditions are under which it was made, because if it's still a bad game, then it's a bad game.
I guess.
But I'm not saying it's not a good game, because, you know, I am looking forward to this.
So
Did you play the original? I never played the
No,
original.
I've never played it.
yeah, I've obviously played the original. I
Yeah.
played
Why obviously?
Cloud.
Why obviously?
Because he's such a
cool
bloody good
guy who
game, and
plays
you two
great things. And
don't
we
play
suck,
good
Chinny.
games. You don't. Play
All right,
good
now
games.
listen, motherfucker. I play games. New World's a good game. You don't need to be
Yeah.
hating on me because I haven't
Yeah.
played this particular game you like.
Yeah. So it's out on Wednesday. The day before, incidentally, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024's out as well. So there's two massive releases.
No, what will I do?
I know on Xbox this week. And there's been some huge updates to Flight Simulator, in so much as you can have whole careers in it now. So you can
Okay.
play like a career as an air ambulance, like a helicopter pilot flying the air ambulance. You can play as like a crop sprayer. You can play as like mountain
Wow.
rescue. So
Very
you can have
exciting.
shut up. You can have these whole careers in the game.
Brilliant.
I'm going to obviously play because I love the first one.
I'm
And I
gonna be
played-
a crop
kept me-
sprayer.
Kept me sane. Kept me sane during COVID. So I'll be interested. And this has got cloud gaming support,
Wow.
like cloud streaming, which the
Okay.
first one didn't. And you had to install about 250 gigabytes just to play the game. So
It's
I'm
almost
interested.
like we're 4
I don't know if
years
that's really
later.
making me want to play this.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested. I'm going to even try. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to even try and plug my flight stick into my Xbox Series S and see if it works.
You
So
do
I'm-
that.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
going to
let
do
us
it.
know what you find.
I am going to do it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be playing that game. Right. We have got emails. So let's do those.
All right, people. Here comes the email.
Whoa, that ruled.
So the first email this evening is off Tainted Brian.
All right. What up, Tank?
And
How's Japan for you?
Japan. He says stream.
Okay.
He says stream. He says, hey all.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Uh,
Konnichiwa.
just a quick note to say that I was really sorry to hear about Andy. My condolences to his family.
Mm.
The stream seemed to go well. He was obviously well loved and target achieved. Well done to Chinny and all involved and those who donated, Brian. So it's just a bit of a
Mm.
shout out to you, Mr. Chin.
From
From Japan. All the way
Yeah.
from Japan.
Andy, yeah, Andy in the sorry, Steve in the chat says I enjoyed Andy's stream yesterday. You are
Yeah.
very witty, Chinny. Oh, that's
no.
no, that's not
Nah, he obviously
Try
doesn't
again.
know
true.
you.
I can see your club is
Yeah.
very close, like a family. Oh. Matthew Bassett said, "Interesting. Looking forward to hearing your opinions on it." I don't know what you're referring to. There,
That's Stalker 2,
All right.
presumably.
Stalker 2. Yeah. So yeah, no, it went well. Thank you very much, Tank Brown. Thanks for. I'm sure you did tune in. So yeah, yeah. Thank you. It did go well.
Yeah.
It did go well.
It did. A good
You
time
know
was
what?
had by all.
Righto, next email this evening is from Jason. And he says this. Now, hopefully, this week Duke's not going to get angry when Jason speaks. But
Look, to be
can't-
fair, I want to make it clear. I'm not mad at Jason. I'm mad at the people who voted in this psychopath into office and all of the psychopaths he's bringing with him into the cabinet. RFK Jr. in charge of the National Institutes of Health. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, anti-vaxxer, isn't he, apparently?
He says we're not going to be focused on infectious disease. What the fuck?
So what's he focusing on then, do you know?
God knows, getting processed foods out of the kids' lunches, which, I mean, that's okay. But then there's this picture of Trump and Elon and Trump Jr. and RFK on a fucking plane eating McDonald's. So what happened to your complaining about processed food, RFK? It's almost as though you'll say whatever you need to say to get into power. Like a lying, hypocritical scumbag.
But to be
Anyway, go
fair,
on.
Everybody likes a Mackie D's, don't they? You know what I mean?
Well, apparently, he said he's never eaten processed foods and never
Tasty.
does. So
Tasty Mackie D's, man.
I'm not complaining about
I'll
Mackie
be
D's
honest,
myself. I'm
right.
complaining about hypocrisy.
Can I just say, though, Millie has been to New York this week, came back yesterday.
Yeah. Welcome
Was it
back, Millie.
Friday. Came back Friday. And she took a picture of a McDonald's that she got there. And the bun was perfect. It looked like the picture. Whereas in this country, you get like whatever, and it just comes out in a squash bun. And it looks nothing like the advertising photographs. That thing looks
Stu's about to become Falling Down. Michael Douglas in that movie Falling Down. Like, look at that picture. Now look at this.
Yeah, nothing like that. I mean, no, this
Get
bun
an Uzi
looked-
out of his back.
It looked
That's right.
amazing. It was like shiny and brown and domed. Honestly, it was incredible.
Okay.
I was just
I'm
like,
glad
Well,
she had
at
an
some
amazing
point-
experience
at some
in
point,
the U.S.
At some point, I have to question what kind of burgers you're getting because they are sort of they're sort of burger shaped.
No, but right, the bun in this country, it's like pale brown, and a bit flat. They never and half the stuff's hanging out the sides of it. And whenever I get them, like especially Big Macs, they're the worst. So you get a Big Mac and like all the lettuce.
Maybe it's just that your
and
local Preston Mickey D's is shit.
one of the burgers is half in, half out. You know what I mean? It never looks anything like the photograph. Whereas this thing Millie got, it looked exactly like the photograph.
I gotta say, I gave up trying to hope that fast food was gonna look like the photos when I was like 15 because it rarely does in my experience.
Well, you need
so I'm
to
glad
go
she had the
now,
opposite
'cause it
experience.
did.
Apparently,
Honestly,
I
it
need to
did.
go to that one. But was that in Times Square or something?
Yeah.
Because that's my guess is, okay, they know they're catering to a lot of tourists. So they're going to have a lot of pictures taken of the food and they're going to up their bun game. If you're
Maybe.
your average neighborhood Mickey D's, I gives a fuck. Just give them the shit. What are they going to do? They eat here because it's cheap, not because it's high quality food.
Well, the favorite place she ate, because all they ate was fast food. They didn't eat any normal meals.
There's a lot of other types of restaurants
I know,
in
I
New
tried
York,
to
man.
tell her
There's
that,
like
but
famous
I
Ray's
know.
pizza
Yeah, but
places. There's like authentic Italian. There's amazing Jamaican and Thai. There's a vegetarian place called Red Bamboo the Duchess will not shut up about.
She's in her early 20s. Like she doesn't give a shit about that stuff.
It's just fast food.
Man, when I was in my 20s, I might have gone at least once to some other restaurant besides Mickey D's. You can get Mickey D's anywhere.
They went to watch the ice hockey at Madison Square Garden instead of going to a show because they couldn't decide. So they went to watch the ice hockey. And Gus got the biggest piece of pizza you've ever seen. That's all they ate that night. Just had this massive piece of pizza. But
See, that's cool.
the favorite place was a bagel place. Some really famous bagel place. I've never heard of it.
Okay.
But they said it was amazing. They had this amazing bagel.
I'm glad to hear it.
Twice.
New York
They went
does
there
have very good
twice.
bagels.
He said it was that good. Adam said he was going to get one to put in his rucksack for the plane.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Cool.
So anyway, that's besides the point. What did Jason say? That's what we should be doing.
What did Jason say? Let's see.
He said, what became of that boy in the world he called his own?
What?
Well, that's his opening.
I feel like that's a quote from something. Is that from
It
a
probably
song?
is. Probably
Okay.
is.
All right.
Hey, veterans.
Hey.
As listeners to the show, we certainly never understand you. That's rich, isn't it? That's rich coming from him.
Well,
I
we
never
try to
understand
understand people and be understood. It's a Cure song, by the way, from End Song.
Anyway, he says he'll never understand
Yes,
us.
but anyway, you're right.
Yet.
That's okay.
Yeah, we do get a glimpse into your tickers and your brains, your thoughts on video games. Look, it's rhyming. I'm quite impressed with that.
Hey, he's been infected by the Cure.
That's why I've been haunting your Gmail for so long. Even though most of the games you play are duds, it warmed
Well,
my...
not Pentiment.
Well,
Go ahead, Wonder Woman.
it warmed my heart to find Stewie's enjoying Pentiment.
Yeah, wait till you hear this week's show. You're gonna poop your pants with excitement.
As someone that loves to create, after completing that book, actually video game, it's a book. I recognize that it is in my top 5 of all time.
Wow.
All time. And
That's fun.
within its genre is #1. So this game might better than Deadly Premonition, and Jason loves that game. But this is Jason's #1 video game of all time out of every game he's ever played. That is a big claim, isn't it?
It is a big claim, and that's fine. I mean, but he's saying it's the #1 in that genre. So like, yeah.
No. His genre is top 5 of all time.
Right, top 5 of all time.
Like all games, not just these
Right.
types of games.
Right.
and this is his number one. So it's not a particular genre. This is just his top 5
Wait,
games.
read the sentence from the email again.
I recognize that it is in my top 5 of all time.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, and within its genre is number
its
one.
genre,
Yeah,
it's my
maybe
number.
don't. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong then. Yeah, maybe I read it wrong. Anyway, he likes it a lot. I think is the
Yes,
gist.
he does. Yes, he does.
There are some really cozy holiday scenes in it, so play it now.
Yes.
Along with it, read Piranesi.
I remember him hucking me about this.
Piranesi, a book that would make a wonderful video game. If you enjoy these, you will be one step closer to understanding who you are. Wow.
Okay.
Chinny, I searched YouTube and did not find your stream. Chinny on YouTube brings up some kids making videos of their faces upside down.
There are a whole bunch of chinnies on YouTube, but he did link it on the Discord. So
yeah, there was loads of links for it. You should totally do that, Chin, upside down on TikTok.
Hey.
I did, however, see another Mike get paid millions of dollars to stand next to another weird dude and act like they were fighting each other.
That was me.
Yeah.
I see what he did there. Anyway, live your life as you are writing your own story. You aren't, but that's okay. The world is yours. Stay positive, bitches. Quiz time. What studio would create a game I would normally love, but instead they decided to add math puzzles or even algebra? Bad move. It does not deserve Game of the Year, Jason. So what game is this? Any ideas?
Sorry, what did he say?
So he says, what studio would create a game I would normally love, but instead they decided to add math puzzles, even algebra? Bad move. It does not deserve Game of the Year, Jason.
Math puzzles.
So I'm assuming there's a game out
idea
with
what that
math
is.
puzzles in, but I have no idea what this might be.
Couldn't tell you.
No? Any ideas, Mike?
No idea.
Not a clue.
Not a sausage.
No idea. Well, thank you anyway, Jason. We will ponder on
Thank you, Jason.
your game that has math puzzles in. I have no, and I'm trying to think what studio he really likes that would release a game he didn't like.
Mm.
Don't know.
Online.
Don't know.
No.
And that's it. I'm afraid that's everything we've got with no speak pipe off.
No speak
Not
pipes.
Derek. So I'm assuming he's burnt out after doing all those quizzes for us.
You know what? He deserves some time to relax.
Yeah. So I think he's having a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll be back soon because I'm missing him. Are you guys missing him? I'm missing a bit of Derek.
Oh, yeah.
Not Derek.
Well, I'm always happy to hear him. So yeah, I would like to
missing
see
not
him.
Derek. Yeah. So there you go.
Maybe that's a
And
chance
Jacinta.
for other people to send in SpeakPipe.
Yeah, we haven't had anything off Jacinta for a while.
I was,
Yeah, right in, Jay.
I was thinking of her the other day because I was looking at some of the because she sent over some chocolates and stuff, and we still had some from that were in date. Don't worry. So I finished off all the chocolates that she sent over now, and the clothes that she sent over still don't fit Rosa. So I was looking at them, going, "Oh, I wonder if she can fit these," but they don't fit her yet. So
yeah, still too small. She'll get there though.
she'll get there.
They
She'll
grow.
get there.
These kids grow quick.
Oh, she's growing.
It's
Don't
like
you
sticking
worry.
them in a pot of soil. They just grow.
She's growing. She does not stop talking. That's her thing now.
Is she
just-
talking now? What's she saying?
Just like yeah, and then she'll copy stuff she say. So I said, I forgot what I said to that. I said like, "Yep," like that, and she went, "Yep." That she's copying the
Nice.
noises, so she knows.
Yeah.
Like, she's listening to you. And
Oh, yeah.
Like me and Tara swear quite a lot, so like we have to be
You
careful.
gotta be careful now. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like sponges. Yeah, sponges those kids are. Right, well, I guess we do some shout outs and get the hell out of here.
I guess we do.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
So I'm going to start this off because I think the biggest shout out this week goes to Mr. Mike Chin himself.
I think it does.
For doing such a lovely thing for a friend of his who sadly passed away and raised a lot of money to at least help his family in the coming weeks.
And provide an
months.
entertaining stream for everyone to
And
watch.
provide it, an
I mean,
entertainment. So
entertaining can be debatable, but you know.
Well,
but no,
I had
d-
fun watching.
Yeah, I do appreciate everybody who listened to the show that came along. Duke, there's one chap who plays snooker. His name is Sam, and he said anybody who donates in the next 5 minutes, I will match their donation. And Duke donated £100, so that made him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Match that, bitch.
Yeah, so I think he did do it. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, when I went back, so we packed all the kit away. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you for everybody who doesn't know Andy, who's either donated and or tuned in yesterday, that just listens to this show. So thank you very much for your support. I do appreciate it. It all went well. Yeah, so we packed all the kit away, and I think it was probably about. And I'd left my snooker cue at the club. I forgot to take it. So I packed the kit away. You know, Tom, who I work with, he's been there all day. So I was like, right, you can go now. You just go home. And then when I went back to the club, and everybody that was left in there was just wrecked. Just absolutely drunk.
Yeah.
And I got my cue, and I was like, I am out of here. There is no way I am hanging around these people. They are done.
I heard you explaining to some people that you were a teetotaler, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hello, how long have you known me?"
A lot of people try and get me to drink in those situations.
Come on, have one. Come on.
Come on.
Come on, just try it.
Just try
I'm
it.
allergic. I'll start diarrheaing all over everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what you should say.
Yeah. So thank you so much. It was a strange day. It was bittersweet, but I do appreciate everybody sort of. I asked for a call to arms, and everybody did answer the call. So thank you very much. And I'll do a highlights thing. So if you want to check it out, go to my YouTube channel, Chin Chinny, ChinChINNY. Look for the red snooker ball. That will be me. Yes. So thank you very much.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of other shout outs, funnily enough.
Go for it.
So I'm also going to shout out Jason because he said he was very sorry about making Duke shout last week by sending in his email.
Again, I'm not mad at you. You didn't make me shout. I used the opportunity to vent a little bit of frustration that I've been feeling.
I know. But I did have to remove my headphones because it was pretty loud.
Hey.
But I think as a sorry, he sent me an audiobook to listen to.
Oh, how about that?
So he sent me a gift on Audible, and that book would be... Can you guess? Can you guess what it was?
Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
No, it was Piranesi. It was a book.
Oh, all right.
It was Piranesi. So he sent me that to listen to.
Yeah.
And but it was a bit of a freaking bind because they don't let you switch between Audible libraries. So if you gift a book from the the American library, you can't play it in the English library.
That's frustrating.
And when I tried to redeem it, this was the best bit. It went, you can't play that in your region. We've sent a refund.
Oh no!
So they just literally automatically refunded to him. So he sent it me, and he's like, "This is shit. I'll send it," and just sent it me again. So what ended up, I set up a US Audible account, and I'll have to stream it via the internet to listen to it. So I will do that because I thought, well, I've got loads of data every month that I barely ever use. It's fine, so I'll just stream it over data and give it a listen. So thank you very much for that, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. That's nice
and
of you.
obviously, final shout out to Adam and Kyle on the Continuum podcast for putting up with me for about an hour because you didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I do feel sorry for you to have to listen to my garbled nonsense for an hour. But I hope it was okay. And I do apologize if it wasn't. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's fine.
Cool. I will shout out Amar because he's always sending me cool stuff. Thank you, Amar. Shout out Jenny for doing the awesome stream. Shout out to everybody who donated, and especially the guy who had to match my big donation when he made his claim. But it worked because he wanted people to donate more, and so we did donate more. Shout out to the Department of Motor Vehicles because they just told me to re-up my my license plate, which I'm going to have to do now. And shout out to my friend John because he's going through a hard time, and sending much love his way. And shout out to the Duchess because she's taking care of goats, and I'm just looking around now like Bart Simpson looking at his shoelaces. So I'm going to stop talking instead. Are we done?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Why
sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
Surface lizard. Whatever happened to him?
Surface lizard.
Surface lizard. Do you know that seems such a long time ago now, doesn't it?
You know why?
Yeah.
It was.
It was.
It was.
It was.
It's true.
I wonder what happened to it. Whatever happened to Surface Lizard?
Hey, Surface, if you're listening to this, get in touch with us. Let us know what's going on in your life. We miss you.
Let
We
us
love
know
you.
if you're still out there somewhere, because it is weird that we've not heard off you. He just disappeared, didn't he? He just one time said, I'm not sending anything else in. And that literally was it.
Yeah.
He literally never sent anything else in. Very odd.
Very odd.
There you go.
All right, I got like 6 more papers I got to grade in this stack, and then I got to do my SLO on PPG, and then maybe I can put some comments on the other things from the other students, but maybe I'll just do that tomorrow.
Whatever that meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just go along with it. Just nod.
Sure.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
right.
Impressive.
Yes.
Well done. Yeah.
Cool.
Now I feel dizzy.
Right.
Okie doke.
Okie doke.
When does Stalker 2 come out?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Be there. If you're not there,
You'd better be dead or in jail. And if you're in jail, break out. Be there.
Yeah, 20th. 20th it is.
Okie dokie.
So let's play that game. I think, well, I'm assuming you'll both like this, but you never know, do you?
never know.
You never know.
I don't know much
see.
about the Stalker series.
I'll keep a mind open.
It's like DayZ, but with mutants.
Yeah.
And more ammo, I think.
Yeah, but it's not quite. It is hard, I've heard, but it's not as brutal as DayZ.
Yeah.
So it has mutants, it has anomalies, it has vortexes, it has all sorts of crazy shit going on. Factions. One of the biggest thing in the original game was there was loads of different factions within the irradiated zone, and how you interacted with them affected how they were with you. So they might be aggressive or they might be friendly, depending on who you sided with and what you did. So there was a lot of, for a game so old, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
That made it quite interesting.
Zippity bow.
Zippity bow. Radio, guys. Speak to you next week. Have an excellent week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace
See you
out.
later. Bye. Bye. See you later, Mike.
Bye.
I'm sure you're very tired after all the stuff you did yesterday.
Yes, very tired. I need to go to bed.
So, yeah, I will speak to you soon.